Oh no, Freddy Frost, what has happened? You lost an eye? Oh, how could this happen? I thought you were full of ice. Well, good evening, laddies, lasses, and lassos, if you haven't clicked off already. My name is The Click, and I hope you're having an amazing day, because you do deserve it. Today, we're gonna do something absolutely amazing, which is educational. You can watch this with the entire family. We're gonna do r/TheyDidTheMath, which is an amazing subreddit. I had a lot of fun looking through this, and I do hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Enjoy. Mwah. Remember to subscribe to second channel for more educational content, such as real-life ghost hunting in the video game. Check it out. Link below, please. I am oh god, it's really cold, Freddy Frost. Jeez.
If you blended all 7.88 billion people on Earth into a fine goo, density of human is 985 kilograms per square meter, average human body mass is 62 kilograms, you would end up with a sphere of human goo just under 1 kilometer wide. I made a visualization of how that would look like in the middle of Central Park.
So you just... This is like the ultimate Swede. You're just like, oh my god, I'm a mad scientist. I turned the entirety of the world's population into a meatball. This feels like the plotline of a really bad 80s horror movie. I'm just gonna be honest. I also love how they visualized it. It wasn't only a number, they actually visualized it and put it in Central Park. The only winner tonight is the Voyager probe, which is speeding away from the Earth at 17 kilometers per second. Yeah, sometimes it do be like that, doesn't it? Teach me something interesting using one comment. If the world competed one-on-one with each other, the winner would only have to win 33 times. That is so true, it's so fascinating. I love numbers, yayit. Yes, a 33-round single elimination bracket would have 2 to the power of 33 participants, which is about 8.5 billion. So it's actually possible, since the world population is probably just under 8 billion, that the winner would be someone who has the first round bye and then only has to win 32 times. Holy frick, this would be a great idea for a movie! That'd be so good, can you imagine? Oh my god, aliens come to Earth, they conquer all of humanity for their silly games, and you have to face off like one-on-one duels, and life or death basically, and the winner is gonna be the last human, so you only have to be able to defeat 33 other humans to be like the one who survives the entirety of humanity. That is such a good movie plotline, a little bit depressing, but damn! A new shape called the Scutoid has been discovered in our cells. Yay!
I am so happy I'm out of high school. Imagine having to find the area of a darn Scutoid.
I feel sorry for the generation that comes after, like, what, Zoomers? What are the generation after Zoomers called? Smuls? I feel sorry for smalls. So here's someone glued a little formula to the wall. Okay, we have 2 formulas that are basically circular formulas. Then we have 3 straight lines, it looks like. Okay, what is this? Anarchy! When the city is a little bit too strict with what you can put on walls, just hide it within math. Oh, yes, indeed.
When I grow up, I'm gonna be a dragon.
You can't be a dragon, Jeff. 40 years later. If Jeff Bezos' entire net worth were converted to gold, how much mass and volume would it have? Jeff Bezos' net worth is this. Gold is currently valued this. So he can convert his net worth into 3.72 million kilograms of gold. At 19.3 kilograms per square meter, that is 159 square meters of gold. Oh my god, what's that? That's 159,000 liters of gold. So imagine 159,000 milk packages, basically. Or like if you're from that weird country, Canada, I'm not sure how big your bags of milk are, but maybe something similar. That's a lot of milk gold right there. There are allegedly around 6.5 million Finns, right? That's out of 7.1 billion humans. That means Finns make up about 0.09% of the planet. That is not 9%, that is 0.09%. Less than 1%, less than 1/10 of a percent. To put it another way, 99.9% of the planet are not Finns. How do we know this? Government censuses. Now, the best government censuses have a margin of error of at least 1%. So Finns make up 0.09% of the planet, plus or minus 1%. In conclusion, there's a 50-50 chance Finland doesn't exist. Take that, Finns! Oh my god! We will just go home this Friday and do some kalsarikannet to drown our sorrows. Am I right, fellow Finns? Hey, oh yeah, I am a cool kid.
Piss!
Any man who can do this should be allowed to. The risk is quite high. What's the risk of you like peeing in your own face? We can try to calculate some simple physics here with Bernoulli's equation, with V being the initial velocity of the urine and G the gravitational acceleration and H the height from the penis to the top of the head. Now I have measured this height for me and it's around 1 meter. This means that I would need to pee 4.4 meters per second to pull this off. This brings us to the interesting question. How fast do we pee? Well, I did not research the depth of the internet for this, but I found here this paper saying that the speed of boys is around 2.35 and 3.25 meters per second. So if that's the case for me, I would totally pee on myself. Fail. But if you're a young boy or really short, you can make it. 2.35 meter per second corresponds to 28 centimeters penis to head.
You're assuming you're standing up straight, the guys lean backward.
Oh yeah, that's true, okay. So if you really push hard, imagine if you push really hard and you're really short, you can pee over your head, okay? So people are always talking about like, oh, tall privilege, and you know, people always ask for heights on Tinder. Have you realized that you can show off by peeing over your own head? Yeah, that's privilege right there. Maintain social distancing. 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet. Calm down, Pythagoras, calm down. No need to make it that complicated. 3 dimensions are enough. Imagine the top left and bottom right person being height and the two or vice versa. You form a tetrahedron with the people at the verticals. All distances are the same.
Oh yeah, just add a little bit of more dimensions to it.
Woo, social distancing in 5D. A barber, what do you want, fam? Him, let me get that y equals mx plus b. Barber, say no more, haha.
That is exponential growth, which is y equals ab squared x. So you are wrong, and you have failed.
That's true. Oh my god, it's a second degree. Oh, that's so bad. Go to a barber that knows their math, otherwise this might happen to you. Vsauce, Michael here. Lifehack. Avoid red lights by driving at 104... What is that? 114 million miles per hour. The velocity will blue shift them enough to appear green.
0 out of 10. I do not recommend attempting.
And here is some calculations made in the comments that prove that this is actually right. You can do this if your car is really fast. The sad reality of our world, everyone is on phone. You have 27,000 tweets. You joined here in June 2016, which means you joined here about 136 weeks ago. 136 week is 952 days. If you divide 27,000 with 952, the result is about 28. You tweet 28 times a day, yet you still talk about how everyone is addicted to their phones. 28 times a day! Oh my god! Accounting for that you're awake for about 16 hours a day, that means you tweet almost 2 times per hour. Every single day, 7 days a week, all year around. That is bonkers. Who tweets this much? Budweiser just spent $5 million on a commercial to brag about donating 100k worth of water. According to this article, a 30-second ad cost roughly $5 million. The Budweiser commercial lasted 1 minute, so the ad likely cost closer to $10 million. And then also they mentioned that the commercial production was probably 1.5 to 2 million as well. Yee, great. I have had this happen a couple of times where, you know, charities reach out to me, for example, and they're willing to pay me to promote a charity. And one part of me is kind of like, why don't you just donate this potential sponsor money to the charity directly? Wouldn't that make more sense, I guess? Or maybe they're hoping that more donations will be brought in from the advertisement than what they pay for the advertisement, maybe. It still just feels weird, right? It feels weird. In this case of the company, it's just like bragging rights, you know? It's not so much about the actual charity, it's more about just PR, which is like half of charity in the world anyway. But it is like an interesting concept, like marketing versus donations. I would have to dig deeper into like actual numbers on this because I am kind of interested in how it works in practice.
Math break 1, 3, 5, 7. What number will be next?
217,341, because if x equals this number and x to the power of square and square 3 and square and blah 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 blah, then f of 1 is 135 and there we go, the obvious answer. I would say the answer is 1337 here because this formula and then you get this. Now can you do the same with 69? Here you go. Jeez, how are you doing this? You can fit a fourth order polynomial. You can fit fourth order polynomial to any 5 points. You can do it by hand, plug 1 to 5 and x, and now you have a system of 5 linear equations of 5 variables. Start solving and subsidizing and make it a bit easier with linear algebra. I remember this vaguely. I think we did this for fun in like 9th grade or something back in school. We just like made these equations, and depending on what number you add to them, you basically just, you know, fit numbers to them essentially that they go through. It's pretty nifty. Balls. This is a model of how many Earths can fit inside the sun. Damn, that's gotta be at least 12. Well, you're not wrong. It is technically the truth, but... Google says an average whale weighs about 100,000 pounds. This whale ate 64 pounds of plastic. That's like having a 200-pound person eat 58 grams of plastic. A plastic shopping bag from Target weighs about 9.3 grams. I highly doubt any person would be feeling okay after eating 6.23 plastic shopping bags. Maybe if you put them in the mixer and make a nice little plastic smoothie of it. This is horrible. This is horrible. If you choose the answer to this question at random, what is the chance that you will be correct? A, 25%, B, 0%, C, 50%, D, 25%. Oh, wait. Oh my, wait. This has a couple of layers to it. Here's the thing, when you guess at random, you pick 1 out of 4 options, right? Which is 25%, so then you're like, oh yeah, 25%, 1 out of 4. But the twist is there are 2 options with 25%, which means that then you're 50% likely to pick the right answer. But wait a sec, but because if you pick the 50%, then there's only the 50% that's the right answer. And that's only 25%. But then if you choose 25%, it's 50%. You can't solve this. What? You can't am I just messing this up? You can't solve this, right? I love the face of the dude too. He looks like I feel when I made that realization. That's amazing. It just doesn't work. Oh my god. And the worst thing is, if they had just changed one of the 25% to something else, like, 10% or 0% or whatever, then you would have picked the 25% and you would have been correct, right? Then it would have worked. But because there are 2 25% and 1 50%, that combination specifically just messes everything up. Yeah. That is a mind frick. Pakistan hired 63,000 people unemployed by COVID-19 to help plant 10 billion trees.
Darn, that's over 150 trees per person, given that they plant all trees. Might seem like a lot, but if it takes about 30 seconds to plant a tree and they work 8 hours a day, it would only take about 160 workdays.
That is actually kind of impressive. Yeah, it really adds up, doesn't it? That's some legit tree planting right there. r/shower thoughts. There are about 15.7 million subscribed to this sub. Divide by 365 is 43,000. To about 43,000 people, happy birthday. That is so sweet. Oh, I've started doing this on my streams. Check out my Twitch, by the way, if you want to catch me live, you rambunctious rascal. So that's pretty cool. So when you have like X amount of viewers, that means that there's an average like 1 or 2 people in the chat that always has a birthday. So we should just start off every video by saying happy birthday. Happy birthday. I hope you're having a great day. Mwah. A woman on the train kept staring at me, and after about 25 minutes, she was like, "I'm sorry, but you look like my high school boyfriend who passed away." And without missing a beat, I was like, "Amanda?" And she was like, "My name is Rachel." But imagine if I guessed her name right. Let's assume this is in the US. There was 165 million women and girls in the US as of 2017. There's been some variation in the number of Amandas in the US across sources, but 778,000 seems to be near the middle. That means around 0.46% of the female population is named Amanda. And OP had a 0.46% chance of who we called Amanda actually being named Amanda. As people have been saying I should filter by race, age, etc. It will make things more accurate, but I don't know anything about this lady. That's true. Yeah. If you don't have the data, go for the closest approximate stuff, but... Damn, that's so cool. So, okay, wait, hold on a second. If just 200 people do this when they are in this situation, they will get it right. If everyone this happens to, which can't be that many, just says Amanda, 1 of every 200 will be right. That is mind-blowing. When you ask your barber for the y equals minus 33x plus 2, but they give it to y minus 0.5x2 squared plus 3. Oh god, no! Ah! I mean, both look kind of funky, not gonna lie, but, yeah, yeet. Doctor, sir, the surgery has a 50% survival rate, but don't worry, my last 20 patients have all survived. Normal people, mathematician, This demonstrates the gambler's fallacy. It is the incorrect belief that if a particular event occurs more frequently than normal during the past, it is less likely to happen in the future. Yeah, that's very true. You can think of it as just a statistical tree, basically. Should we do a Click Academy? Click Academy? Paint! My favorite program, baby. Booyah! Good evening, laddies, lasses, and lasses to Click Academy. So today, we are talking about statistics and the likelihood of things happening. So the most easy way to think about this is just a statistic tree that goes around like this. And to make it easy, let's just say it's 50-50 at each little 5-5, we'll call it. And for each of these choices, you go down the side, and basically you end up at a resolution. So this leads to the point that basically if something happens only on this side for a long time, it means that people will think you will do the other option after a while, which isn't correct because at every single little point here, every single crossing you can call it, you still have locally, so to say, a 50-50 chance of anything happening, right? It is only when you zoom out and look at the whole thing as a whole that these larger statistics come into play, when you have 0.5 to the power or whatever. And that is how it works. So when you stand here and you're about to do the gambling thing, it's still 50-50. It doesn't matter how your coin has flipped before that. What your coin has flipped before that only matters if you look at the whole thing as a whole before you start, not when you stand at this specific crossing. That is VidClick Academy for the day. My drawings are amazing. Pedagogology is very good, yes. Me fills a water gun with printer ink. I don't even need a Wii U to have fun.
If you bought a 16ml cartridge of ink at $18 and a 250ml Nerf Super Soaker Barrage at $15, it would cost about $2,800 to fill it with ink once.
Oh! Yeah, the printers are a scam, man. Jesus Christ. Free Wi-Fi. Solve this integral. The Wi-Fi password is the first 10 digits of the answer. I'll just turn my data on. It's pi. Source. Wolfram Alpha. Oh my god. That was my savior back in uni. Best thing ever. If you didn't know, Wolfram Alpha is like an equation solver. It is amazing. Go to it right now if you haven't checked it out. Absolutely beautiful. You can smack this entire integral into it and it will just solve it for you. It's beautiful. That's basically my brain right there. If, according to Kanye West, one good girl is worth 1,000 bitches, and if, according to Lil Wayne, bitches come a dime a dozen, it means that one good girl is worth $8.33 as of 2015. And here is my calculation in Excel to prove that point. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Look at these huge bees. I swear they get bigger every year. May 2034. Oh, bee! Oh, God! I would like a horse-sized bee. It seems so cute. A bumblebee is about 0.6 inches long. The average male is 5.9 inches. The average sitting height ratio is 52% of total height, so the seated man is, let's say, 3 feet tall. The bee in 2034 looks to be about 5/3 the size of the seated man, so that is 5 feet tall. The bee has to grow from 0.2 inches to 60 in 17 years. That means it would grow by 3.52 inches per year, or 0.009 inches a day. So it would have to grow 39.9% in a year. Oh my god. Yeah, that's kind of bonkers though. Oh, and if it's one specific bee, right? If they only last for a year, imagine how fast they would grow. They would grow by literal kilograms per day. 14 boys, 31 gallons of Budweiser, 5 days. Heck yeah, bro. 31 gallons is 248 pints. 248 pints between 14 boys, 17.7 pints per person. 17.7 pints over 5 days is 3.5 pints. You guys had 3.5 beers each day. It must have been wild. It doesn't sound impressive when you break it down. Maybe if they drank it all in one day, then you're talking 17 beers in an evening. Oh, then we're having fun. Oh, yes. Baby Nut was born February the 2nd, 2020, the Super Bowl. On August 11th, the Mr. Peanut Corporation tweeted a video for his 21st birthday. Thus, he ages at a rate of 0.1 years per day. The average male life expectancy is 67 to 88 years. Baby Nut will likely die between October the 6th, 2021 and April 16, 2022. That's a dark way of seeing it. Jeez. 1 gallon, about 4 liters of gasoline, contains about 31 million calories. Human daily calorie requirement is 1,500 to 2,500 depending on the person. 1 gallon of gasoline contains enough calories to satisfy that requirement for 12,400 to 20,600 days, or about 34 to 56 years. Therefore, if I chug a gallon of gasoline, I won't need to eat for the rest of my life. Strictly speaking, you're absolutely correct. Yeah, if you chug a gasoline, you'll never have to eat again. Not for the reason you presented. But it is correct in one sense, yeah. So it turns out a squirrel would need to fall about 4,800 miles in order to die, because that would give it time to starve to death because they can survive terminal velocity. Rachel, I am begging you, it's 2:30 in the morning. Squirrel terminal velocity is 23 miles per hour. Time taken for a squirrel to starve, 5 to 8 days. 5 to 8 days in hours, this many hours. Distance to starve traveling is 2,760 miles to 4,416 miles. So it's a tad high, their distance is 4,800, it's about 8.6 days. So it's on the extreme end. However, the squirrel will die of thirst long before hunger, after only 1 day. So its actual distance to death is only about 552 miles. Fascinating. So if you're ever considering throwing a squirrel down a bottomless pit, it will just fall for a day straight, or 552 miles until it dies of thirst. That is so sad. Oh my god. A Jeep Wrangler is less aerodynamic than a lobster. Ooh! We should just make cars that are shaped like lobsters. Yes. A guy orders custom size 14.5 slipper. Company sends size 1,450 instead. That is such a good slipper. I love it. How much did you pay for this? This could be a good bed. Instead of bringing like a freaking sleeping bag to like a sleepover party, I would bring this.
That's the opposite of a problem.
A new bed. Guy at factory, are you sure this isn't a mistake? Other worker, why would it be a mistake? Are you discriminating people with big feet, huh? Steve? It's disgusting. According to Wikipedia, shoe size in the UK is roughly calculated as this frickin' formula. So that means it's 39 feet 8 inches. So I agree, this is very off, as it seems roughly 4 times smaller in the picture. That is so disappointing. They didn't even live up to the size. Oh, what the frick did we learn y equals mx plus b for? Let's say you pay $10 to get in the club, and each drink that night is $5, and you only got $50 for the night. The equation would be $50 equals 5x plus 10. In this situation, you solve for x, and that's the number of drinks you can have. Slope. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, that's why they call it party math. Math is fun. I ordered a 9-inch pizza. After a while, the waiter brought 2 5-inch pizzas and said the 9-inch pizzas was not available, and he was giving me 2 5-inch pizzas instead, and that I'm getting 1 inch more for free. I requested the waiter to call the owner. I gave him the mathematical formula to calculate the area of a circle. Circle area, pi r squared, where pi is blah, r is the radius of the circle. So a 9-inch circle area is 63, while a 5-inch circle is only 19. The 2 5-inch circles add up to 39. I said that even if he gave 3 pizzas, I would still lose out. How can you say you're giving me an extra inch for free? The owner was speechless. He finally gave me 4 pizzas. Take math seriously. You see, kids, if you're ever like, but what I'm gonna use this for in real life. When people try to scam you and give you way too small pizzas, that's when, baby, that's when. Oh, you're so good to me, Freddy Frost. What would I do without you? Oh yes, rub your body up against mine. Thousands of kilos of sweet potato and carrots have been dropped from the air to help feed animals impacted by bushfire in Australia.
Imagine surviving a wildfire only to get beamed by a carrot falling at 200 miles per hour.
I asked Google, and apparently the terminal velocity of a carrot is actually 147 miles per hour. If you didn't know this, kids, the terminal velocity is basically the balance where the gravitational acceleration is equal to the air resistance. So that's when you stop accelerating and fall at a constant speed. This is achievable because air resistance is square, while the gravity is pretty much constant. So yahoo! What 1,900 people thought life would be like in the year 2000? Balloon-supported lake walking? That is so... What? That is so specific. What? Are your feet gonna get wet anyway? Or is it like, you know, your shoes can float because it's so perfectly balanced? But the lightest breeze would just toss you away. How is this... What? With air at 100 C in the balloon and air density normal 1.2 kilograms per square meter and at 100 C 0.93 kilograms per square meters, it means that you would need 300 cubic meters per person. Yeah, that's a little bit too big for just an average human. The entire city would just be covered in really big balloons. Everyone would just be like, ooh, floating around with the wind. It would be a disaster. Cease.
I bet all my answers are correct. My answers.
Your answer is not correct. Correct answer is this nightmare of a sum. Your answer?
17!
Just guess it in hopes that you'll get enough points to pass the test. Alright, Courtney, on your test, the answer to this question was this big-ass formula. Your answer was purple. You didn't pass. Do you think I've peed 1 million times in my life? Are you dumb? Boy! You about to get roasted. The average human urinates 6 to 8 times a day. If you have been doing that since you were born, that's 52,560 at the high side of that average. That's a mediocre response. I would have preferred a simpler, boy, you 25, that's 9,130 days old. You would have to have peed 109 times daily to get a million. Yeah, that's how you serve it good. Oh, maybe it's true. Maybe they have some severe bladder problems. That means you would roughly pee 4 times per hour, 24/7. Oh, that's pretty depressing. Boy, I wish girls liked sports. Girl, I like sports. Name the blood type of every Heisman winner since the 1990s. What would be the probability of guessing all of them right? Okay, first go at doing the math. Here we go. There are 8 blood types, A, B, AB, O, and plus and minus for each. Second, since 1990, there have been 27 to 29 winners, depending on whether you count vacated winners or if you include the year 1990 or not. Given that you have made the correct choice, but out of 8 possible options, the total number of possible answer sets is between 8 to the power of 27 and 8 to the power of 29. So that is very, very big numbers. So the odds of correctly guessing them at random is between 1 in every 2,400 to the 10 to the power of 24? Oh my god. There's a small error that assumes that all blood types occur equally as often, but I mean, at the magnitude of these numbers, you can basically say it's practically impossible at this point, so don't worry about it. How can a disease with 1% mortality shut down the United States? A bit of an outdated post, but I still think it's a very interesting breakdown, so let's get into it, shall we? There are 2 problems with this question. 1, it neglects the law of large numbers. Number 2, it assumes that one of 2 things happen. You die, or you're 100% fine. The US has a population of about 300 million. If 1% of the population dies, that's roughly 3 million people dead. 3 million people dead would monkey wrench the economy no matter what. That more than doubles the number of annual deaths all at once. The second bit is people keep talking about deaths. Deaths. Only 1% die. Just 1%. 1 is a small number. No big deal, right? What about the people who survive? For every 1 person that dies, 19 more requires hospitalization. 18 more of those will have permanent heart attack for the... 8 permanent heart attack. Oh god, no, permanent heart damage for the rest of their lives. That'd be kind of intense. 10 will have permanent lung damage. 3 will have strokes. 2 will have neurological damage that leads to chronic weakness and loss of coordination. 2 will have neurological damage that leads to a loss of cognitive function. So now all of a sudden, that but it's only 1% fatal becomes 3 million people dead, 62 million hospitalized, 59 million with permanent heart damage, 32 million with permanent lung damage, 9 million with strokes, 6 million with muscle weakness, 6 million with loss of cognitive function. That's the thing the folks who keep going about only 1% dead, what's the big deal, don't get. The choice is not ruin the economy to save 1%. If we reopen the economy, it will be destroyed anyway. The US economy cannot survive everyone getting COVID-19. It's like some stuff in this might be outdated, of course, but it kind of shows a very interesting example that I don't really see with this, but in general with mathematics in the world, very few things in practicality are 0% or 100%. Everything is kind of a big fancy little scale and distributions. Yahoo! Nothing is easy. Why would life be so easy, please? Anyway, moving on. A woman chugged an entire $200 bottle of cognac rather than give it to airport security. Not all heroes wear capes. So let's see, that 1.5 ounces of cognac is the equivalent of 1 alcoholic drink, 40% alcohol. According to this information, it stated that it was a 700 milliliter bottle. This would mean she drank the equivalent of 15.7 drinks. To simplify this, we'll just say 16 drinks. Now here's a nice chart for you. This shows the different weights for male and female and how many drinks will make you legally intoxicated. Looking at this chart, if we used a 120 pounds female as an example, after 7 drinks, it looks like it starts increasing the BAC by 0.03 each. So adding 6 more drinks to 0.38 BAC would bring us to about 0.56 BAC. According to this, 0.4 BAC or higher would kill you. This is always something I find a bit strange whenever I read stories about someone who chugged an entire liter bottle of strong liquor. You would die. It's weird, unless you throw up very shortly after, or you have like a massive body mass or something else that affects it. A normal person would just die. It's kind of wild. Well, we end that off on a positive note, didn't we? Thank you so much, Laddies, Lasses, and Lasses, for watching this very educational video with me. I do hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it, and I will see you in the very near future. Take care. Mwah.